Hello guys, this is Semester, and if you are planning to buy a phone, you will be thinking, should I go for an Android or an iPhone? I would like to tell you that none of it is the best. You just have to choose the one that works for you. So to know the one that will work for you, you have to consider these features. So first features is the customization. Android has a lot of varieties of products. We have the Samsung, we have Vivo, we have Tecno, we have Infinix, we have a lot. Why iPhone is you are just getting it from just a single company. You should note that Android has a lot of varieties you can pick from with different customization, different processor, and so on and so forth. While iPhone is coming from just one company. So when you have different varieties, you will get a lot of customization even from a singular phone. Samsung itself has a lot of customization than iPhone. We can all agree about that. Samsung has a lot of customization, changing wallpaper. Like I know iPhone can also change wallpaper, but there is a way you customize different things that it feels so different while customizing it on iPhone. On iPhone, it feels like you're stuck on the company customized. So Android just has better customization. Let's go on to the battery section. Android phone has good battery. iPhone also has good battery, but we are considering the one that has better battery. iPhone battery works according to the refresh rate, the speed. So if your phone has a very higher refresh rate and it has a low battery, like let's consider the iPhone 12 for example, it has a very good OLED display with good refresh rate than the 11. So that is why it has a lot of people complain about the battery, saying the 11 battery lasts longer than it. We can say the 11 is using an LCD display, so that is what makes its battery last a little longer than the 12. So Android has good battery because they don't have like higher refresh rate like the iPhone. So Android just has good battery. Let's just say it. Android has a very better battery. Though there is a lot of Android using dynamic OLED and higher refresh rate, but just why they have a good battery is because their battery is actually higher. This phone that is using up to like 6,000 mAh of battery, 7,000, and yeah, we know Android is just breaking everything, breaking the record with their batteries. So yeah, Android has a very good battery. So we can say the Android wins the battery section. So let's talk about the prices. On the price side, we can say Android has a lot of varieties of prices. When we're same thing as when we're talking about customization, Android has varieties of prices for varieties of phone. Android creates entry-level phone, mid-range phone, and also high-end devices, also like flagship devices. But for iPhone, we know all iPhone creates are flagships. iPhone don't create like entry-level devices or mid-range devices. All their products are always flagship. So we should know that for a company that produces flagship, their prices will always be higher than the other ones that produce. So Android is for everybody. We can just say Android is for everybody. There's entry level, there's cheaper ones, there is mid-range one with mid-range prices, and there is flagship devices. So we can say iPhone has like higher prices to pay when getting a phone because it's flagship. But on the Android section, you can get it for any price, considering you have to lose on the performance side, the display side, and everything. You have to lose on that for getting a low priced phone. And you also have the higher ones too if you want to break the bank. Yeah, Android wins on that section too. Now on the performance section, Android and iPhone has good performance. Basically, talking about the Android that have been produced nowadays, the Android that have been produced recently, we know that their performance are just so good. Though iPhone performance is very good, like what I mean by very good, buttery smooth, like when you are trying to scroll through on Instagram, Facebook, and so on and so forth, you notice the smoothness. But on Android, it's kind of like, you should understand, if if you have used an Android and an iPhone before, you notice the difference. Even an Android that has 120 Hz of refresh rate compared to an iPhone that has 60 Hz of refresh rate, the Android will always be faster, but the battery, the smoothness is what is the main difference. So on that side, Android has good speed with performance. Performance is so good. And also iPhone has good performance, because what do you expect is a flagship device. So iPhone wins on that section. Another reason I would say iPhone wins is that iPhone has a long-term performance rate. Like, it performs so good, like as the day you bought it, from the beginning of the day you bought it till maybe when it actually gets broken or something. But Android, on the contrary, when the storage is full, it starts acting somehow, and when it has taken a long time that you have been using it, there's always a downgrade. So now on the software support side, we can say iPhone has like very long-term software support compared to the Android. I know the Android being produced now, as they are already getting longer software updates than the old ones, but considering starting from the beginning, iPhone always has like a longer software support. Looking at the iPhone 11, I heard it's getting iOS 27, the beta version. So we can see that phone that has been produced like since 2019 is still getting a software support still. So we can say iPhone has longer software support. But on the Android side, we know Android is being produced by varieties of companies under it. So every Android with their different software support. So on that section, iPhone wins with the longer software support rate. If you have watched this video from the beginning to the end, you should have understand that Android and iPhone are both good phones, but it's based on what you want. Choose an Android if you want a phone that has a very good battery, phone that you can customize like anything you want to do with it. You don't have to be expecting, oh, I can't do this on my iPhone, I can't do that on my iPhone. You can do anything on an Android as soon as you have it. So you can do anything on your Android. You don't have to worry about security. I can't do this, I can't do that, I have to do this before I do that. So Android, choose an Android if you want a phone you can customize that is very okay for you, that does not feel like as if you're being imprisoned or something. So and on the contrary, iPhone is also a very good phone. Choose an iPhone if you want better cameras. I'm talking about good cameras, good video quality, good camera quality. And Android also have a very good camera quality, but the difference is, like, if you are talking about Android that have good camera qualities, you will be looking at a very higher price. So you have to consider, okay, Android has a very good price range. You have the entry level, you have the mid-range, you have the flagships, and also on the iPhone, it's all flagships. But if you decide that you want something lesser, but you still need an iPhone, then you are looking to get an old iPhone, like either an iPhone 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and so on and so forth. So if you don't want to break the bank, you can just get an older. One thing I noticed that iPhone cameras, the improvement on it is actually little. What actually improves is some apps, should I say apps, or some upgrades in the system. The improvement on the cameras as tested by MKBH, if most of us have seen the videos, the improvement on the camera quality are actually little. So if you want to be in the iPhone community, you can actually start with a lower priced iPhone. You don't have to break the bank before you get an iPhone. So what this I've said is from my knowledge of already using both an iPhone and an Android. So by this time, if you have watched this video to this extent, you should have concluded which phone you should buy or which one you should get. Or you are still concluding, just type your answer in the comment section which one you are going to buy. Bye.